I ate an apple in the downtime.
Hey, everybody.
Trey got
Okay, I'm done.
cheesy golden fingers with Doritos.
I don't have a napkin.
We had to change
It's
up a little
working.
bit of
Yes,
some
actually, we do have a
microphone.
napkin.
The mic sounds great actually on the stream.
Really?
Woo!
Yeah.
Yay!
I know what I'll do.
Okay.
There we
So
go.
once
Need to
again,
get, like, a
I'm going
foghorn to
to
celebrate.
give an overview so nobody has to watch that terrible poppy sound. Parties in Port Ninezaru. They are in the old city. They have gone to speak with a bookie named Clahu. They're trying to speak with Clahu to get a particular NPC, his executioner's run he's got to make, delayed. And in exchange, they are going to go attempt to get some money back from Tabin the Titan, who is a gladiator that owes Clahu money. The NPC Draza, who is supposed to be making the executioner's run, is the husband of Bellum, another Chultan male that they had previously encountered. Draza was wrongly accused of theft, and he was kind of processed quickly, and he's supposed to be making the run today, possibly against Velociraptors, Megaraptors, who knows, in the Executioner's Run, which is like a big football field size type divot in the ground. They throw whatever type of monsters in, and you got to run through with just the clothes on your back. If you succeed, you're acquitted of all crimes. But they're trying to delay this because they don't believe that he'll be able to make it in the first place. It's really risky. So now the party is waiting on Clahu to return. They have roughly 2 hours worth of just kind of roaming around to do whatever they want to do. Is there anything in particular y'all want to do during this time? I know what Winterin was doing. She was looking at plants and trying to find a herbalist, I believe.
I have my familiar at this point, right?
You do. I think you said you were going to use part of the time to ritual summon it.
Oh, okay, so I'm summoning it. Okay, never mind. I was gonna have it follow Clahu and figure out what the Beggar Queen is.
No, I think time she walked away, you pretty much decided to start your ritual to
Yeah.
summon
Okay, never mind.
it. So, what's everybody else doing during this little bit of time? It's still 88 degrees and raining, like really hard here. People don't seem to be minding.
I was Marmon was investigating the run and just seeing like what would be a good entry point in case we need to get into it, and also just basically just investigating it, trying to see what what he could see.
There are some small trees and such down inside of it. There's also some like ruined pieces of like crumpled block from some of these large structures that are around. This entire city is pretty much built in ruins, or at least this part of it is. Generally, there's nothing blocking you from even getting into the pit. It's 15 feet deep on all sides, and it's just a straight run from one side to the other, but it has like a little overgrowth and such. So you could jump down on one of the higher trees with like a good climb check or something to get down in there if you didn't want to just straight out jump 15 feet deep and possibly break your ankle. Or you could jump down on one of the big blocks that's down in there if you really needed to get in, but nobody really ever wants to go in there.
Okay.
I wonder why.
Until now.
You do notice those amongst the shrubberies and stuff that are down in there, the little detritus and everything. There are snakes and other types of like insects and stuff that are moving around that don't seem to be that's like the least of your worries when you get in here, like a viper or something popping out and biting you. You got to worry about like velociraptors and the occasional much larger predators that get put in there. It's a pretty terrifying sight to think that you'd have to run from one end to the other.
Okay, cool.
Banu, Heskin, what are y'all doing? I mean, there's plenty of people around here that you can speak to if you're wanting to gather
I don't want to
information.
speak to people anymore. Every time I speak to people, they hate me or try to kill me.
Well, you're in the rougher part of the rougher section of town. They might not care as much.
So it'll probably be worse.
Yeah, they may not care, or they may try harder.
There is that. Yeah,
Well,
never
if we get you another goblin, you can ride on his shoulders and pretend to be a grandma.
know.
We know that works.
Yep. I could just pretend I was right on Heskin's shoulders.
You and Winterin can be like a person.
I'll disguise myself as a baby and you can push me on a stroller.
No.
I'm gonna look around and see if I can find where they like store the dinosaurs and stuff. Maybe try to sneak in there at some point and drug them.
Hello, person
Well-
in the background.
Yeah.
That's her nephew.
There is not really a place. Well, I mean, they store dinosaurs, but there's not a place they truly store them. There's like cages
That's our
sitting
son.
out front. Hello, our son. There are cages sitting out front of this smaller temple-like structure that house like a few different types of dinosaurs. There's like a panther in one of them. There's like a really large, like white-chested gorilla. They're all kind of. There's probably about 6 or 7 cages full of different creatures that you can kind of like walk up to. But the time you get close to them, people like shoo you away. Like, you don't want to mess with this. This is quite dangerous.
Are there any creatures in the cages that look the least amount of danger? Like a cage full of chickens.
No. Probably the least dangerous thing you see. There's like this weird little. It looks like a mix between a koala bear. It's like a red-furred koala bear with what looks like it's got like hard, rough scales on it. It's probably about like 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall. It
So it's like an angry lizard drop bear? That sounds bad.
Yeah, it's it doesn't really look mad. It looks really, really cute. But you do see that it's sitting in this iron cage, and you see that its claws itself, the part that's kind of holding him up against the cage, his claws are made of that same iron, and another foot is kind of rested on the ground, on the earth beneath it, and its claws are made of what looks like stone.
The hell? I want one.
I hate it.
I want it.
It looks at
It
you
will
and
be
just kind
mine.
of goes, kind of purrs in like a threatening manner. Still looks adorable.
That's how you know it's dangerous.
In a
It's purring threateningly manner, but still looks adorable. It's gonna murder everyone.
Yeah, it's the worst one.
It's the rabbit from Monty Python. We're all doomed.
Right.
Let's see.
So that's the least dangerous thing?
It looks like the least dangerous thing. It looks like the least dangerous thing. What was that, Winter, you were about to say?
About then, Winterin would come trotting up, and I've got a little like bag, and I'm like, "Yo, look at these! You won't believe them! Look!" And she pulls out of the bag these beetles that are about the size of a human hand. And goes, "They're supposed to be very tasty. I haven't tried it yet. Here, try it with me." And I hand one like out for somebody to take, and I've got the other one ready to eat in the bag, kind of like tucked under my arm, like, "Come on."
Banu grabbed one.
They are
They're called a
roughly
yucca.
Yacha, I think is what it was. Yacha.
They said a yucca, but that they're not yucca.
Yeah, it's a disgusting looking beetle. It's about the size of a human hand. It looks very meaty. Like it's got not that real hard of a carapace. It's almost kind of squishy but firm. It looks like it could provide sustenance. It's kind of like a brownish green color almost.
They
Aren't you supposed to
roasted.
cook these?
They said you can eat them raw, but these are roasted.
Oh, okay. How do I eat it? All right, I guess I eat it.
How do I do? Ah.
All right.
It's like on a
Well,
half
With your
shell.
mouth.
it's like I ate that apple a second ago.
It's kind of crunchy. It's really gooey and tender. Like you hit some points where it's just like mush, and then other points it actually has like some real good substance to it. It's almost like a firm fish type.
It's like it's got a special filling inside. I don't know for that, yes. And she kind of like wipes her tongue.
Is that Cole's actual reaction?
Yeah.
Banu holds out like half of it to him.
Mm-mm.
Would you care for some?
Mm-mm.
It's not bad.
Mm-mm.
This bug has some meat on its
Oh
non
god! And
bones.
he just runs around the corner.
It's got meat on its non bones.
As
Oh,
you
I guess
run
that's
around,
more for us.
as you run around the corner, Coleman, and you are trying to hold your lunch in.
No, at that point, that was done.
Okay. Well, you can barely make out some conversation from a couple people that are walking by you. All you can hear is them say something. It's along the lines of, "Heard they were sailing out this afternoon. I sure hope that they have the correct amount of treasure to offer old Aramag before they leave the port."
Armag?
Aramag, Aremag.
And then I puke super loudly.
They turn around and go, "Good God, man," and they just keep walking really fast. Alright, so, Heskin, what are you doing?
He just said, "Be right back."
Oh, I
Sorry.
saw be right back, but he sat back
Yeah, he-
down.
Oh man, the
Yes.
bug actually made him sick. At least that's what the message
Oh,
in
no.
Discord said.
It says his stomach's being iffy.
Oh no,
Oh,
that's not
that's
good.
Heskin's doing push-ups.
That's
That's what I'm going to choose to imagine.
It's a better visual.
So Heskin's just kind of keeping a lookout. He followed you around for a little while, Marmorn, and then he came around to check on Cole after he ran off a little bit later. You all right, friend?
No, it was terrible. Who are all of these people? Eating bugs. Oh.
We're going into a jungle. You might have to lower yourself to that sort of cuisine
Nope.
eventually. And he walks away, just kind of shaking his head at your queasy stomach. So for the most part, this part of the city is not as slummy as a couple of the other worst parts that you haven't been in, but it's still pretty broke down. There are a lot of shady people that kind of watch you. There are some merchants set up under kind of brightly colored tents and such along the ledges of these particular, what was I calling them earlier? I can't even remember the word now. Somebody help me out. These giant structures are called
Forgot.
Oh my god.
Not in the notes. Not in the notes. I don't
They're
remember.
pyramid-like structures that
Oh, you mean the
up.
ziggurat?
Yes, they're like ziggurats. There's another word for them too that I can't remember, but that's cool. So there's merchants set up there. They tend to be selling less than quality goods for the most part.
Less than quality.
But you can still come across a treasure every once in a while. And still, you get this terrible smell occasionally that wafts in from the west on the breeze.
Does that smell of undeath and cool things?
I mean, it does have like the faint, rotten body smell, but most of it smells like cesspit, like garbage, and it smells like garbage and rotten food. The occasional smell of sulfur comes along with it. It's a very strange smell.
Okay.
I really wish Heskin was here. I don't want to progress the story too far without him, but I don't know what else to do here. So,
Wynn would be listening to see if she could hear of ways that, like, people aiding others going through executioner's runs. Like, it was kind of hinted at that maybe help could be given to people who are on the run. So she would be trying to find out, like, how you can do that, be it slipping weapons or,
okay, you were told
ensuring a path
previously.
along.
You were told previously. It's not something that's done very commonly at all.
Right.
It's not
But that
something.
could be.
Yeah, you can aid anybody running through the executioner's run, but it is taboo, I guess you'd say. It's not against the law to kill whatever's chasing somebody running through there, but it is highly frowned upon because people make bets and everything such as that, and only people that don't know of the customs around here would be ignorant enough to just go about killing the velociraptors as it's chasing people.
Well, I was looking more for ways to give the people doing the run aids, like be it weapons hidden within the run itself, or like tossing a weapon down to them to defend themselves, stuff like that.
You give me an investigation check.
Okay. Boop. 21.
Okay, so you hear more. You like specifically, you hear a couple of people talking in like a group, and one of them says, "Yeah, I got this viper the other day, and as soon as he runs past me, I'm just gonna fling it at him. Hopefully, it'll get him, slow him down some, so we can watch him get eaten, and then we'll win all the money."
Oh my.
Nobody wants to help these people.
I want to help them.
No, I want to help one.
Exactly.
Everybody else can die.
It's such a great justice system.
Is Heskin doing better? Viking with a weak stomach.
Well, I don't know what it is. Like I ate something weird or something.
Bugs, probably.
It was the bug. It was the yakka.
No, Heskin would have loved the bugs, probably. Heskin is very different from Ping Pao.
All right.
Fair enough.
So, if y'all aren't really doing anything besides just kind of like looking around the area, we'll just say.
I'm just milling about.
Yeah, Heskin was just wandering around.
Okay.
Probably absentmindedly just following somebody else.
So the next couple hours pass pretty slowly for you, actually, as you wait for the return of Clahu. And Clahu does come back. You notice she comes around the corner of one of these buildings and makes her way up to you. And she has kind of a stern look on her face, but with kind of like a hint of a fuck. Walks up to you and says, "Hey, good news for you. I've gotten his run delayed, but now you've got to hold up on your end of the bargain.
Okay, what's the bad news?
You have to hold up on your end of the bargain."
That's not. That's the new. We already knew that. That's
That
not
was
news at all.
that was the expected news.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, the
How
good-
much? How much did you delay it?
It will commence tomorrow at noon. I delayed it approximately 24 hours.
Very
It's an extra day to figure something out.
Yeah, if you're looking to save your friend's friend here, and he's like looking all hopeful and stuff, he does say thank you for helping me in this. This might, and kind of walks up. He says, "This might give me some time to prepare too." And
Yeah, back scratching.
Clahu says the good news would have been that your friend died today and that you didn't have to do this, but you've committed. Let's go. And she begins to lead you back through the old city and into the nicer parts of town, navigating through large amounts of people who are now beginning to kind of come out the woodworks, starting to hawk their wares. You even pass by one road where you see like 4 dinosaurs like smash into one another and continue on running, and you notice there are these riders on their back, like they're smashing up against walls and stuff, knocking pieces of masonry down and stuff such as that, and people are just like cheering them on, like yeah, go! And they're loving these races. You see people exchanging money back and forth and stuff, and some people taking bets.
This is Potter. All right.
So
Sauropod racing.
I'm gonna be going sneakily through because I've learned my lesson about this place. So I'm trying to keep a low profile as usual now. It's gonna be the default.
You should have taken the cloak from
Right.
the other goblins.
I don't want to look like a raggedy old woman.
Are you sure
Better
though?
than looking like a goblin this time.
I am above that. All right.
Are
Maybe
you?
a goblin that
Yes,
has
I'm
flavor
absolutely
in it.
above that. I'm terrible at this though.
Oof.
High variance, yo. What are you gonna do?
So she leads you through the streets, and she takes you to a new portion of town that you've never really been in before. It takes you outside of the main walls, which the old city was outside of the main walls as well, but she leads you further down to the eastern side of the city and out of the main gate into this...
Oh, that's right. The North Arrow is in a funny place.
Yeah, she takes you into what's known as Tariki Anchorage. She kind of explains to you that this is where most people, especially like the adventuring sort, tend to make homes after they retire. It's still kind of rough, but it's a better portion of town than the old city, and definitely better than Malar's Throat, which is a little bit further to your west. So you end up down here. Let me move your token here.
I don't know why anyone would live here.
Ah,
Oh, somebody was
Kind of
controlling
like
the
it
token.
here.
The jungle is much preferable.
I literally anywhere would be more preferable than this. This is a backwards and barbaric form of justice. I will still gamble on it, but I find it barbaric.
I will be judging them as I gamble.
Yes.
She says, so we're going to be heading a little bit out of town. It's not too far now, and it's taken you all a while to navigate to this point because of just the amount of people in the city that were kind of elbow to elbow, and people trying to stop you and sell you stuff. She says his hut is outside of town by about an hour or so in the jungle, kind of further away from all the hustle and bustle, but he's owed me money for quite some time. I don't feel I need to explain why he owes me money. You've seen what my particular profession is in the first place, so but he's not the kind to shy away from a fight, and if he thinks you
Yeah, with a name like Titan, you wouldn't think that.
if he thinks you show any sort of weakness, I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem trying to put the 5 of you down. But you look like the capable sorts, looking around and looking mainly at Heskin. And
Do I still have a massive amount of damage? No, we got a long. No, we didn't get a long rest, but yeah,
when did you take damage?
I took it during the bar fight, so we must have slept after the bar fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did, because that's when you picked up
Deal
Bellum.
face.
You picked up
Yeah.
Bellum after the bar fight and then went back.
Yeah,
and
we-
Not.
We helped him.
Yeah, we did.
We made sure he didn't die.
We 100% kidnapped that man and brought him back to our inn.
I mean, if we had left him as he lied, he would have drowned in the puddle face down, which is not a great way to die. And then, I mean, in the end, he thanked us for it anyway.
And we got a
Just
quest.
saying.
He's happy. Yeah, we absolutely kidnapped him. But he was cool. He was cool with it.
Good.
He was cool with it.
I'm just saying.
It's for some
Kidnapped this
good.
guy.
It's not a crime unless it's reported, and he's not going to report it. So.
So
Don't think that's how it works.
I mean, it did. That's
It is
how.
here, apparently.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of showing you about the town as you're making your way. She knows that you're new to the area, and she leads you out of Tariki Anchorage and into the kind of edges of the jungle. She says he has this thing about living by himself. Shows that he's brave and capable. He's a retired gladiator. He hasn't done it in quite some time, but he's what's the best word to describe it? Very cocky. He's cocksure of himself. So just follow my lead, and maybe we'll get this money out of him without much trouble. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
As Heskin is putting his shield on his arm.
So she leads you into the jungle, and you eventually come to this. It's a really pretty jungle. Let me see if I can find a good handout for you. I think they have one here to give you an idea of what you're looking at.
There are far too many trees here.
My kind of
Is there
place.
such a thing as too many trees?
When you live
Yes.
in a desert, yes.
You're looking at it right now.
He's
I
more
think
trees
it's
than
quite
Heskin
lovely.
is used to as well.
I like it. Don't you see how clean the air is? It just feels rich.
It is rancid and
And
filled
humid.
with bugs.
And very, very humid.
I like dry heat.
Well, sadly, it doesn't really have a good handout for showing.
Malmor is giving a look of disdain at all this conversation.
I like nature, but I like the desert. Don't shake your head at me. You
This is
should come to
paradise.
my family's house in the desert. You'll see.
So that, if y'all can see it, is just a general idea of kind of what the jungles look like as you're navigating through. You go across a couple rope bridges and get deeper into the jungle, and you eventually
That
make
is
your
pretty.
way. Yeah, it is. You eventually make your way to the area in which Mr. Tabin the Titan has made his home, which is roughly this. It kind of like leads back into a cut, and it's quite overgrown. There's like a path that leads up to this nice looking, well, slightly nice looking tent. Towards the back of this cut, under some palm trees, you can hear some water running over to the side, like back behind the tent. You can barely, through the palm tree, catch a glimpse of like a small waterfall that falls down in like a pool-like area. She says, give me just a minute, and y'all wait here, and I'm gonna go in and talk to Tabin. I'm sure he's around.
You don't want us to come with you to be muscle?
He's not gonna hurt me outright. All he's gonna do is tell me no. You're gonna be my muscle, hopefully, if diplomacy doesn't go well. And she walks off into the tent, and all.
Hey, while she's walking off to the tent, is this like a tent, or is that like got some roof support to it?
It's like a big. It's made of hide. It's not got any true roofing or anything.
So it's not going to support a goblin climbing up it, but that tree next to it could have potentially hold a goblin climbing. All right, I want to climb up that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as she walks around, I let my snake off my arm, and I want it to fly and like get close to the tent.
Okay, all right.
And then I will see/hear through the snake.
All right. So as your snake approaches the tent, and Banu, are you going to be climbing or doing anything right now, or are you just?
Yeah, I'm climbing that tree right there that's next to it. As long as it's not like an open tent where he can see me doing it, in which case that would be very stupid. Okay.
No, it's
Yeah, I'm
got
not gonna-
flaps on the front and everything, so he's not going to be able to see you.
I'm going to climb up it. Looking out for snakes and stinging insects of any type.
You see a snake fly past you. with
Oh.
wings.
Well, it's not on the tree that I'm climbing, so I'm gonna just look at it as it goes by. And then I'm gonna keep
Now-
climbing.
Now, did Coleman tell us he has a familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we
Oh,
all just
okay,
like,
well, then
fun snake?
Well, then I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys know that that's my familiar now.
Okay, I was just like,
Okay.
Want
snake.
to clarify?
The snake's flying.
Hit it! Kill it! Yeah.
So y'all watch as she disappears into this tent. She pulls the flap back, and she like speaks in a language that y'all have heard, but you don't understand really. It's just a bunch of like clicks and clacks, kind of
So
got a lot of that going on. That's the
Dang
native
it.
tongue of Chult. It's got like a strange, very strange dialect.
Need to get that headband of comprehend languages immediately.
And you hear another voice like boom back against it, and it seems to be like a really heated debate, is what it sounds like, for probably about 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. It starts dragging on, and then eventually you hear like what sounds almost like a scuffle. You hear and all of a sudden you see Clahu. She like goes flying out of the tent and like sliding on her back. She's like, ugh. This is
So, how
this
is
is where you
diplomacy?
come in. She says, "This is where you come in." And you see Tabin the Titan. He opens the tent and peeks out to see y'all.
As soon as I see him, Heskin throws a javelin.
I wanted to.
Okay.
Jesus. I wanted to say that before. As soon as she flies out, I want to throw caltrops on the ground in front of the door. But this fucker here.
oh my god.
Take the shot.
Damn spear and
Okay.
killed me. Started choking.
All right, so essentially, I would allow this to be a surprise. So if Heskin's throwing a javelin, what is everybody else doing? Like, I guess
I'm like in the middle of like, and then it's just like.
okay.
Wow.
I just wanted to be throwing caltrops down before he came out altogether. Like as soon as she flew out, I had the caltrops.
Okay, so you toss some caltrops down, just as he like, right as soon as they spread across the ground, he kind of peeks out, and you see this guy. He's this. He's about 5'9". He's got long, like thick dreadlocks. He's wearing what looks like this like leather hide type shoulder pad with some spikes on it. On one side of his, on his back, you see that he's got this really long, kind of oblong, weird shield attached to him, and he's holding a spear in one hand. The spear is not your traditional Ikawa. It looks like a regular spear from what y'all have encountered, a little bit more nicely made. And when he looks out and sees this javelin flying at him, what is everybody else doing?
I'm assuming
I-
a 12 misses.
Or it will
I
handle that
would
mistake.
right there. Hold on. It's not pinging. Ping! That
What?
little square right there. I would cast Entangle. When I saw her come flying out, I would cast it because I figure he's bull rushing behind her.
Okay, so you're casting Entangle.
Correct.
Pop that spell for me so I can see the range and radius.
It's 90-foot range and it's a 20-foot square. Any creature inside a
Holy
20-foot
nut.
square.
20-foot radius square.
Yep,
It's
that's what the 20-foot squares are.
Oh my
Yep.
god, that's a
Well,
lot.
that'd be diameter, not radius.
Oh wait,
I think
it's
it would be
not.
20.
You know what he
Fine.
meant.
No, most circles are 20 radius. It's no
Yeah,
Yeah.
diameter. It's most circles are 20
Cast.
diameter.
Cast the spell.
yeah. I was thinking it would just be the 4 squares. Okay, hold on.
Click the button.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a 20-foot
20-foot
square.
square.
Okay, so that's not as
Yeah,
bad.
it's
much
just
different.
that square.
Yeah.
It's what I just showed, a 20-foot square in front of him. Or is it not showing the rectangle?
I don't see a rectangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see nothing.
It wasn't drawing. I was doing like that. so that it's just like that area that's right there, that 20-foot square there.
That's not quite a
That's
20
not-
square, but
That's not a
sure.
20 foot
I know
square.
it's because it didn't let me drag it the other way, so I had to do 2 rectangles to make a square. Yeah.
That is your 20-foot square.
Okay, well then it needs to shift more eastward so that it's not jacking with Banu up in the tree.
I'm in.
I'd want
It's not gonna get me. It comes.
Anyway.
Sprouts from
That's
the
on the
ground.
ground, right?
Yeah, it's on the ground. I'm
Yeah,
up a
there you
tree.
go.
It ain't gonna
Yeah.
get me.
Okay,
That's good.
so that's your 20-foot square then? Why are you drawing another one? Let me draw him. Okay, so he has to make a saving throw. I believe creature in this area, when you cast the spell, must make a strength save or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. Okay. He just rips those plants right up out the ground. Like, no problem.
All right. Marmor, when he sees him come out, he's gonna go dire wolf.
Just, this guy is not expecting this to happen.
Nobody expects the Direwolf Inquisition.
Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so we get a dire wolf. We got a spear has been thrown at this guy. There is a how many how big is the
It's a 5-foot square. So
Oh my
the
God,
square,
it's a direwolf.
Sorry.
the 5-foot square, like right outside the exit. So if he steps out of the tent, he's gonna have to make the save.
Okay, and what's the saving throw for it?
It's a 15 dex save, where he takes 1 damage, and his speed is reduced by 10.
Okay, so this javelin comes flying at Tabin, and he pushes the tent back and just whips his spear around and just smacks the javelin off to the side, and it sticks in this palm tree next to him as he is assaulted by these entangling plants that he rips up out of the ground. Like, it takes him no effort whatsoever. His eyes get big when he sees this direwolf all of a sudden just appear in front of him. And Coleman, you were just being surprised is all you're doing?
Yeah, I was about to say something, and then Haskin opened up with the launching of Jal. I was like,
Yeah, the only
What?
reason I did anything is because I wanted to act before the javelin. I thought it was like, okay, we get. Oh no!
yeah, I was surprised by the surprise round. Let's just put it that way.
All right, so do you want to do something before?
Not in the surprise round. Nope.
All right, everybody roll initiative then, as Tabin is seemingly unaffected by this entangling grasp, even though it's still difficult terrain for him.
Initiative for the dire wolf would be my.
Dex.
It's on
This
the
is Dex
direwolf.
modifier.
It's
Yeah.
on the
20
direwolf
20
sheet.
20 plus Dex. I cast this guy so.
On the direwolf sheet, there's actually a dice on there that says "init."
Oh, okay,
up at the
okay, I
top.
got you. There you go. I'll take that one.
I'll bet you will.
Dang, he rolled crazy high initiative.
Yeah, he's not your simpleton.
I'm never gonna have any more bonus to initiative. I'm so sad. I miss having alert.
Well, 2 more levels.
No, I'm not gonna take that. I'm taking mobility. I gotta run fast. I gotta have like a 50, 60 movement speed. I gotta be quick, little goblin.
Okay, so
Yeah, monks and mobility is.
Yeah. I want to slap you and then run away.
all right, so it would be Coleman's turn first. You were surprised by the surprise, but now you're just like, oh god, this is happening.
Yeah, all right, we're doing it. Firebolt.
All right, give me an attack roll. Oh, the firebolt impacts like close to his feet. It does
Holy-
not-
Hmm.
it does
What?
This
Shit.
dude was sitting here in armor waiting for this. He knew what was happening.
He-
I'm running away now because I rolled a 15 and I missed.
Yep.
We're screwed.
This firebolt flies wide, hits the ground at his feet, and Tabin, he's looking at what's her name, Clahu, on the ground, who's also entangled. And he looks over he's like, you see him begin to reach to his back to pull his shield off.
Wait, that was without shield AC? I still missed. Oh my god, we're effed.
You rolled a 10.
No, I rolled a 15.
You rolled a 10.
I know, but still, 15?
Actually, you might be right. Hold on a sec. Without his shield, it is 2 less. So you do hit, actually.
Oh,
Okay, good. That means he's gonna have like an 18 armor class.
You could have a 16 or a 17, and you still have a 45 to 40% chance to hit. You're fine.
Okay, so your firebolt
pigeon
flies
saved the
straight in,
combat.
and it hits him on the shoulder. He kind of, and then he goes to reach for his shield as the direwolf does what? Coleman, that was the end of your turn, right?
God.
You didn't want to move.
Yeah, I have a question for all battles from now on. For as far as familiars go, do you want me to roll a separate initiative for my familiar, or do you just want the familiar to go on my turn?
Probably best to just go on your turn to simplify things.
Cool.
What do you want your familiar to do then? If it was
Nothing this turn, and I'm gonna actually step over here so that I'm not anywhere near my friends.
Okay. You also get some cover from that.
Friends.
And now he has cover from you because you've got no line of sight for the most part to him.
Yep, that's fine.
All right.
He can't throw shit at me. I can move back, but he can't throw shit at me right now.
All right, direwolf. What is the direwolf doing?
Well, Direwolf is gonna run in. I think I can make it. Yeah, I can make it. Direwolf's gonna run in.
Difficult terrain. That's
Cost double movement.
Okay.
that whole
not
square is
difficult
difficult terrain.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And get
What's your movement as a direwolf?
50.
50? You can get there.
All right, good. You
Because
are-
it'll use up 45 move. It takes 45 feet to get in front of him. So if you got
Yeah.
50 feet, you can get there.
This
You-
is him, right? Okay.
That's
I guess I'm
his.
gonna move as much as I can.
You don't have to move around people. You can move through people and still get there.
Yeah, you can get to him.
You can
In a
get
move
all the way
action.
there.
Just
Oh wait, I
pressing-
can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Pay
get off-
attention a little bit.
It takes more movement to get to him through that square, but you don't have to worry about allies. You can move through any allies' space for no reason. You can just
Okay.
move.
Okay, but I can just move because I double moved, right? Is that
You don't.
right?
You don't have to double move.
You don't even have to double move. You have 50 feet of movement. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna attack him. Gonna bite.
Okay, so you charge into this tangling mass of stuff towards this relatively small dude. Like, he's built like a tank, but he's only like 5'9". He's not very tall. The Titan is kind of like a.
I knew it.
Wordplay.
He's the gnome.
I'm gonna roll my attack.
Yep. Roll your attack.
It's a normal roll because there's no one beside me, right?
Correct.
By his
Banu's
feet.
too high up to be considered.
Is Clahu next to him?
Clahu's behind him. Is behind. It's Clahu is in this square next to where
Plus 0?
right
1d20
there.
plus 5. 7. Weird. It's a weird way for that to
It's-
be rolling.
It's the way that it does it with NPC tokens.
Mhm.
But that 12, Tabin just kind of dodges out of the way, just as your bite would snap down on his arm. He kind of dodges out of the way, and to like make you feel even worse about it, he like taps you on the chin with his shield or with his spear.
Direwolf growls.
And since this is a BBEG, I will. He's going to take his action to heft his shield onto his arm. He pulls his shield off his back and puts his shield on his arm and assumes a defensive posture. You need to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, Mr. Direwolf, for stepping in caltrops.
I thought it was on the square. He was. Oh, whatever. It doesn't.
You said it was in the square in front of him. If he
I
stepped
literally
out.
wanted it to be on the door, but I can't. Like the
Target
door. Like as soon as he steps out is what I wanted to be. I mean, if you want to put it
I
5 feet
hear-
technically in front of the door, then
Yeah.
Like-
if you want it, I get what you're saying. Like if that's fine. It doesn't matter.
He's still in.
Like
there,
I
so-
wanted it to be literally in front of the door, but I mean, if it wants to be 5 feet in front of the door, it's 5 feet in front of the door. It's fine.
All right,
It's
so
just the negatives of grid combat.
Yes.
You ready? I'm gonna make my roll.
Okay. Oh!
Yeah, just a waste of effort.
You catch some caltrops in your feet. I think that's what?
It's 1 damage.
1 piercing damage to your direwolf hit points.
And I
And
lose
you
10
have-
feet of speed,
yeah.
right?
You go down to 40 feet
For how long?
until you get
Okay.
treated.
Okay.
Or until you wild shape back.
Yep.
Let's see, so what's he gonna do? He's gonna attack you with no, he took his shield. It's not his turn anymore. Winterin, it is your turn. He just hefted his shield onto his arm. Seems to be prepping for more lengthy combat, seeing these people just kind of bombard him out of
Gotcha.
nowhere.
Winterin is going to pull her club up and come forward to here and pause and cast Shillelagh on it.
Okay, that's just a bonus action to cast Shillelagh. You still have an action.
Oh, so I could actually attack. Okay, see, I thought that pulling my club out in the
It's
movement
an
would
object
count as
interaction.
that.
Yeah, object
Okay.
interaction, bonus action to cast. You still have your movement plus your action.
Well, then in that
Where-
case, I will go to there and we'll attack then with the Shillelagh.
Do you have enough movement to move that?
I don't think she does.
If
As a
it's
gnome,
actually no, it would stop me there because I was there and it's
No, you-
25.
No.
you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to enter if that's the last step of your movement. You can't even go into the difficult terrain
Correct.
because it's double. It's a double cost. So you
Takes-
don't
Okay,
have
then
enough
in that case,
to
I
go
would
in.
stop there. In that
Yeah.
case, I would stop there, so that I've got some cover from the tree and cast my Shillelagh and wait.
So you're trying to hold an action then?
You can double move if you,
You
want.
could you could double move or defensive stance in case he comes after you.
Yeah, I'm defensive stance. They're ready.
Okay. So dodge action is what you're saying.
Same, yeah.
Alright.
Same shit.
Eskin. It is your turn. You now have this enormous direwolf standing in front of you. You have a lady tangled in the vines behind the direwolf. Tabin directly in front of the
Ladies
direwolf.
angle.
I get,
Coleman is hiding.
The gnome and the direwolf kind of messed up my line of. I wanted to use my breath weapon, but I got to find a line where I won't hit them. If I move to like here, or I can't ping, can I? Damn it.
You can.
Yeah,
If you're
just-
on the pointer.
Just click and hold.
Oh, there we go. Oh. If I move to, why is it not? Yeah, if I move to there, would I have like a line where I wouldn't?
If you
Hit
can draw
whatever
a
animal is
line, if you can draw a line without going through a square, you would still go through the wolf square there.
Yep.
The only option you have for that is to
So if I
possibly
was-
hit Marmor.
So if I was like here,
Yes.
He's
I-
saying no.
If you
That
go
would hit
that
me.
way, it's going through his square right there on that corner. He's going to have to roll a saving throw too.
okay. In that case, I'll still move there, but I'll just throw another javelin.
Okay, so he's got
Oh,
+2.
first bonus action to rage, and then throw a javelin.
All right, now he has +2 to AC because it's soft cover. But you hit like hell. Hold on, let's see. 17, 18, 19. Yeah, he can't do anything about that. So, your javelin actually flies true, and it kind of clips Tabin in the shoulder. And he kind of grimaces through the pain, and he snaps his head back at you. That's the second thing you've thrown
I
at
still haven't
him.
remembered to. Sorry, I still haven't remembered to do the extra rage damage. Like
So that's 6
sitting,
damage.
so it's 6 instead of 4. I gotta try to remember to do it after this. And
Alright.
that'll be my turn.
Okay, that goes to Bonner. This guy, you can't even really see him right now. He's like still in the tent, essentially, just standing like with the flap.
Yeah, I know. I got that from the caltrops. I'm gonna hop down over here and I'm gonna see if there's a way in the back.
There is.
All right, I'm gonna run in the tent behind him. I got plenty of movement. I'm gonna
Right in the kidneys.
run in behind him with my stick.
All right.
You just goose him. Whoop whoop! Oh my god! We win.
Tag,
One-
you're it.
God.
My 1/16 staff.
Damn, son.
Good lord. So 9 points of bludgeoning damage to this guy.
Yep, and then I'm going to I'll go ahead and burn a key point, and I'm gonna pop his ass 2 more times. Just hit him, run up, and just.
Just kidney punch him. Starts peeing
So
blood.
you can. Mm,
That one
Okay.
probably misses.
So you swing with your staff and you hit him. And he kind of like, you hit him like in the kidney area, and he turns to acknowledge you. And as you swing with your next unarmed strike, he swings his shield around and just slaps your hand away. But the second one in the opening still hits him, so he gets hit. Or no, it misses him because he's got a 17 AC. So he takes only the staff from you and slaps your hand out of the way with the one and dodges the other.
He's got a reaction.
Yes, he
He's
does.
a gladiator. I think.
Or something like that.
Oh,
That means he's used up his reaction.
Yes, he has. And that's all you're doing, Bonner?
Yep, I shouldn't, but I'm gonna stay here and look at him.
Alrighty. That is Coleman. It's your turn.
Alright, so does he have 3/4 or half?
He'd have 3/4 by now. He's got like a 10-foot long wolf in front of him, and yeah, that wolf is pretty much kind of killing
How does
everything.
this grid work? Alright, where am I on this grid? Why are there yellow lines? I don't like that there are yellow lines.
I don't either.
1,
It's one that I had to kind of scavenge.
3, 1, 2. So if I go here, can I get him down to half cover?
I would say, let me see what it looks like when you draw.
Because that's as far as I can get.
Yeah, you can get him down to half cover.
Alright, and then I'm going to have my familiar poke him in the head and give me the help action.
Advantage? Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so this
All
snake
right.
flies down and kind of like fucks with Taven for a minute. He's like kind of trying to bat him aside. And Coleman is going to what? Firebolt him again? Yeah, he's going
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh no.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. When I miss at a 15, we're crap, he's screwed. Because I'm going to roll nothing but 5s.
It hits the sturdy flap of his tent and kind of like puts a really nice scorch mark across that area.
Cool.
Light the tent on fire. Light the tent on
And
fire.
fortunately, because he's a flying snake, he has flyby attack, meaning he does not provoke opportunity attacks when he flies out of someone's space. So he goes whoop out of his space, so he can't just go bap.
Well, he had already used his reaction anyway to parry, so
No, I know, but like I don't want him to just because people do that with familiars. Like, oh, he just stays there, and I always kill my players' familiars if they leave them. So
alright. Coleman,
So I'm a
that's
dick.
your turn. That's all you're doing on your turn.
yeah, that's all I can do. I moved, I did my action, and that's it.
Okay, Marmorn, what are you doing? You're standing amidst this entangling grasp right now, facing off against this guy with a shield. And you do have advantage on your attack. I know, I see that arrow.
No, I don't. I don't because
Yes,
he's
you-
10 feet.
You've got you. It's basically if you're
This
flanking.
guy.
I
Yeah.
think you get it as long as your ally is within 5 feet of the enemy. not
Enemy.
you.
Oh, okay. I got you. Cool. Yeah, then I have it. So I'm gonna
Yep.
roll. I'm
That's
gonna
always
bite
my
him
savior.
on advantage.
Oh,
Trying to help.
Ooh.
so close. But as you try to chomp down on him, his shield just kind of like says, it like pushes your face off to the side a little bit. And you like get a good mouthful of tent flap.
Dire wolf growls.
Taven growls back. Now,
Not good. Not good.
So Tabin, as soon as he pushes your face away to the side, he comes in with a jabbing spear attack against you with a
That
crit.
hit.
Ooh.
He crits. You take 18 points of damage. He swings his shield back around to hit Banu. Does a 15 hit you, Banu?
Please
Yep.
say no. Damn.
It does.
Yes.
You take 9 bludgeoning.
Man, he's gonna make us straight.
And now he provokes an attack of opportunity from both you and the direwolf as he runs forward towards Mr. Heskin here. He's got a 40-foot movement, so...
Holy balls!
And he also needs to make that save for the caltrops. Finally.
Yep. He gets to make a save for the caltrops. That is Dex. 19.
All right. Well,
If he succeeds,
fuck it.
does anything happen if he succeeds?
no, nothing happens.
Okay.
It's
He
all or
tiptoes
nothing.
around it. Yeah.
All right. The staff misses. Direwolf, what are you doing? Are you going to attack him as a
Do I still get my
reaction?
advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah,
making
'cause
the
it's-
attack as he's leaving.
Yeah.
That is a hit. That's 8 piercing.
And he has to succeed DC 13 save, strength save.
Come on, roll a 1.
16.
Frack.
Alright.
That would have been
So-
great. Just trips into vines.
He
Yeah.
Okay, so Tabin, he growls back. He stabs the wolf, dodges Banu, runs past, gets hit by the wolf, and then he makes an attack, his last attack, with his spear at Heskin with a 14.
Would I not also get an attack as he ran through?
No, because he hasn't left your he hasn't left your threatening space. He's-
Gotcha.
In fact, I don't know how that works with the large creature either, but we'll just say that it happened. So does a 14 hit Heskin?
No.
Oh, that's
Because I have my shield.
Aha!
Yeah.
It misses.
All right, that's his turn. That's all he can do.
Oh no.
It's Winterin's turn. You can still attack.
I was waiting for the turn order to do it.
you good.
So, yeah. So as he charges through, Winterin, having Shillelagh ready, would just swing with all of her might at the back of his legs to try and knock him on his ass or have his legs go out from under him.
Ooh, you actually hit.
Sit down!
You're not very nice.
He goes, "Ugh," and he looks back at you, but he's still got his mind is focused on Heskin at the moment.
When he looks back at me, I tell him, if you'd have followed the golden ladies and paid your debts, we wouldn't be here right now.
He hisses at you a little bit. Are you going to do anything else besides use your attack there?
There's really not much else I can do.
That's up to
Everything
you.
else is too much. I will take a 5-foot step behind him.
Oh, so you're stepping. That's actually 10 foot, but you're stepping into your
That
entangle.
literally looked like one square.
It is,
No,
but you're
because
stepping
difficult
into
terrain.
Terrain.
Difficult
because
terrain.
because it's a concentration. When I cast Shillelagh, it would have dropped.
Oh. Well, that
Oh.
changes a lot of different things.
Wait, Shillelagh is not concentration, is it?
No,
I don't.
Shillelagh is a 1-minute spell.
I thought that if I cast anything, that it dropped
No,
my cast.
only things that
my
have concentration. You can only have
Well-
one concentration spell up at once.
Oh well, then in that case, I would have dropped the entanglement as soon as I saw that it didn't happen. Sorry, I thought that
Well-
it dropped when I cast Shillelagh. That's my apology.
If that had happened, it would have changed a lot last turn. Okay, so
Y'all.
you step behind him. That's all you're doing, just stepping up behind him. You don't have any bonus
Well, I mean,
actions,
that's all I
right?
can do.
All right.
I don't have any.
It's your turn to face off against Mr. Monster.
All right, I'm gonna try to shove him, like trip him. So I'm gonna try to like push on his chest and then sweep his leg at the same time. Just kind of come on.
Okay, so you're gonna need an athletics check if you're shoving him.
And because I'm
think
raging, I
it's-
have advantage.
Yep, advantage against
Yeah.
his 20. He makes it.
God damn it!
That's the shitty part about athletics.
All
All right.
right, I guess that's my turn. Just put my hand lovingly on his chest.
Yeah. Okay, so Banu, you notice that the entangle's dropped.
All right. That's great. I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna run over here, and I'm gonna throw a shuriken at him because fuck getting in close because he hits way too hard. I'm not getting in there. I don't want anything to do with it.
20 does hit.
That's it. I ain't doing anything else. I guess I'll take a bonus action to hide. Maybe you won't see me.
Okay. You can
I'll hide in the tree.
roll a stealth. Ooh,
Nope.
Mm.
You try to hide. You think you're hiding, but you're not really hiding. Coleman.
Good thing my super dexterous monk lacks all ability to hide.
You're hiding your face only.
If I can't see him, he can't see me.
Got this guy in
All
a bad
right.
spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
to be here.
I'm disengaging and moving as far away from him as I can.
All right.
And I will. Will I do that? No, I won't do that. Never mind. My snake will hover 10 feet above his head, not doing anything, but just so that he's within range of him to do stuff. Since he moved.
And that's all you can do for your turn then.
Yeah, disengaged action, so.
Mr. Direwolf, you got that
Direwolf.
advantage.
Is gonna move there so I can attack him. Then I'm gonna attack.
Oh, you can attack from any. You could have attacked from the square you were in.
Oh, I can't. Okay, well I'll stay there then.
You
I'm
do
just gonna
lock them
turn it.
off for more movement options if you go there, though.
Okay, I'll do that then. I'm just gonna try to get closer to him, then I'm gonna roll an attack on advantage, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Pack tactics. What?
All right, so you actually hit that time. That's 6 piercing damage, and he's got to make another saving throw.
Direwolf just takes a bite.
Roll a one.
takes a bite out of his hand.
Take a bite out of crime here.
Oh!
Damn it!
Okay, Taven. Tank right through it.
That's so much strength.
Are you rolling an advantage every time? Is that what that is?
No,
No.
it's just you.
I'm taking the first roll on everything. He's just set to automatically roll advantage, except I just take the first roll. If he was actually
Okay.
having advantage, the higher of the roll, no matter what it was, would have been it.
Okay. I'm just wondering about that. Sorry.
That's usually I like to roll in the box here, but I want y'all to see these rolls just to know that I'm not fudging anything.
Just to know how much we're screwed.
Okay.
You are so negative.
All right, so
Things are going perfectly fine.
So it's Taven's
How are
turn.
the man? So, geez, definitely millennial in here.
Hey, I'm staying in character, right?
All right, so
Even when you're out of character.
Taben is going to make a quick series of attacks. He's going to try to jab Heskin twice with his spear and backhand shield bash the direwolf. 10 misses. Does a 23 hit?
Yeah.
Take 6 piercing, and the spear does a 15 hit the direwolf.
Yes.
Shield bash. 7 bludgeoning damage to you. And what else is he gonna do? He's going to.
I almost forgot to half the damage because I'm raging. I almost took 6. I took 3.
He's going to stand his ground. And as he's stabbing at Heskin, he stabs at Heskin and he backhands at the direwolf and he looks at the group of y'all. He says, "You're making me do this." And it's now Winter's turn.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot she can handle with that. Your own actions brought you here, and she smacks him again with Shalana. She tries to smack him with Shalana.
Definitely kind of like hip sways and gets out the way of it.
Yeah.
That's all you're gonna do there?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
What was that?
Somebody's phone.
All right, Heskin. Mr. Barbarian.
I mean, I still want to try to knock him down again, just because. Yeah. Damn it.
No, you're not gonna do it.
It's because his center of gravity's lower and it's weird.
He has an insane athletic score. And this is an NPC out of the book, I'll have you know. Alright, that's all you're doing?
Yeah.
Bonner. You see Heskin just sitting there going...
Just pushing it. Just
Stop.
hit him!
Stop pushing him and hit something!
Hit him! That's your whole thing! And you're not doing it!
Is there something that's like the opposite of the help action that I can try to like give him disadvantage on things instead?
No, there's not.
Just like
I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna try to smack this dude in his knee with my stick.
Stick. Smack it.
Heskin, like this.
This is what you should be doing! Hit him!
You
Break his bones!
As someone with knee problems, I am appalled at your actions.
Alright.
Agreed.
He kind of... He's looking at everybody around him now. He looks like he's starting to get a little bit worried. Coleman.
But as your party member,
Hey, wait a minute! I only did one thing. I'm making my bonus action to disengage because I'm a goblin.
Alright. Okay, so...
Your hair looks terrible!
It looks glorious, by the way.
It looks terrible!
Okay, so Coleman, you see Banu, you see Heskin trying to push this guy. You see Banu slapping him with a stick. Winterin trying to do the same thing. What are you going to do?
we're going to try the 1-2 punch. Aid or help action from familiar and firebolt him to the face.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I have no cover problems today.
Alright, so this firebolt, you just unleash this really nasty bolt, and it comes through and it hits him like right upside the face and burns his eyebrow off, and part of his hair is kind of singed off around the sides.
Now it's really ugly!
You look ridiculous.
That's the wolf.
And then I command my familiar to fly back up.
Okay, alright, and that would be Direwolf's turn.
Direwolf is not looking too good, but he's gonna try to bite him again with advantage.
Ooh. Yes, you hit him. But he succeeds his saving throw.
Damn it.
He takes 12 damage though.
Yes, he does. And now, looking at Heskin, who is no longer a threat since he's just pushing him and failing terribly, he's focused on you.
That's what I want him to think.
Oh god, it double skipped. Hold on, so let me get back to him. Okay, so Tabin turns his full fury on you, Mr. Direwolf, and you get 2 spears and a shield bash. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
Does a 21 hit you?
Yes.
You take 11 pierce. And does a 22 hit you?
Yes.
You take 9 more bludgeoning. So
Wait,
20.
so the 11 is gonna knock me out of direwolf mode.
Okay.
I'm down to 0 health.
All
now.
right, so you instantly transform back into Marmorin with normal hit points, the same amount that you had when you turned, and you take 9 bludgeoning damage as his spear or his shield bashes you across the face.
All right. I'm almost dead now.
I've almost had it with you. I don't want to kill you. And now it's Winterin's turn.
Well, we don't want to kill you, but you owe them money, and we said we'd help get it. So either give it or you get more of this. And she kind of wags her shillelagh at him.
Hey, Tom!
He can't respond. It's not his turn.
You can talk.
Okay, you can talk outside of your turn. You even say that yourself all the time.
If he wants to use his reaction, you can.
Oh, jeez.
He's being
All right.
tag
Really?
teamed
You're
by
going
people.
there?
All right. Well,
My actions are dependent upon an answer from him.
he has no answer, so beat him with a
I
stick.
guess I
You
smacked
threw a
him.
damn
Yeah,
javelin
I
at me. You
smacked him.
shot me in the face with a damn firebolt. You've tried to kill me with a wolf. That's what you get.
Smack the shit out of his knee with that.
His other knee. Whack!
No more
With the-
knees for you.
The small lumberjacks. We just walk over, whack, 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 whack on both knees.
Yep.
Go down eventually.
It's like a mob collection. Like, where's my money?
All right, that's a hit, and he like winces at the pain. He's just reinforced. He's ready to continue fighting. Heskin, what are you doing? You gonna push him again?
No. Heskin's gonna take out his longsword and then take a swing at him.
Fine.
All right. Guess people take seriously.
That shield catches it and turns it to the side.
That's not seriously enough, Heskin.
Time to wake up.
Anything else before it's Banu's turn?
No. Just taking a swing.
So he
Heskin's
just
just focusing on the fight.
okay. He bats it aside with
Okay,
his
I see.
shield, and it goes to Banu.
Sliding in, going for the groin. 1/16 staff. And
That's a miss.
oh,
You try to hit
Well-
him with your staff, and he kind of like bats it aside with his with the bottom end of his staff or his spear.
you are lucky you blocked this one. And then I retreat away with my bonus action.
All right, Coleman.
It's ghetto mobility.
How can I tell how rough he's looking? Like how much blood is pouring out of his body at any given point?
He looks pretty worse for the warrior right now. He's got a burnt up face, couple bite marks. His knees are starting to swell up a little bit. He's got some red marks on the front of his chest where Heskin was kind of like slapping him a little bit.
All right. I can't attack him again because my ranged attacks will actually kill him. And there are too many people around him to sleep him. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just take the dodge action. No, because Marmon said he's almost dead, so I can see that Marmon is also looking like a bag full of cats being beaten to death. So
Yes.
I will take the dodge action.
All right. So
I have to know these things for science.
all right. So dodge action's all you're doing then.
Yep.
All right.
I do not have shocking grasp, so.
Okay, Marmorn's gonna like blood is like coming out of his face. It's like he's gonna go dire wolf again.
Oh, and now we see why freaking Circle of the Moon is crazy.
He still get his
I
bite
think
because it's a bonus action.
My token
It's
went off the.
amazing.
Oh, you'll have to drag it back and fill the hit points back up.
I don't know where it went. Where was
I just moved your token. Just fill the hit points back up on your dire
Okay.
wolf.
Okay.
Charge
And
back
then-
up again.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Growls and bites. Oh,
I don't know what that
And
was.
it
It
made
sounded
that
terrible.
noise.
and with advantage, and he rolled.
Cat knocked something over.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so you hit this guy. He's got to make a strength save.
I'm
Is
still
he
up.
gonna?
Oh, he doesn't make it.
He
Yes!
finally fails.
Girl! And he's just gonna
Alright.
stand right back up. He's just gonna stand right back the fuck up.
So you grab this guy, like, okay, so you clamp down on his hip, and then you twist your head to the side real fast, and his shield kind of just falls off of his arm, and he drops his spear, and he hits the ground moaning and bleeding. And as soon as that happens, he kind of like rolls over and he puts his hands out. He's like, "Stop! Stop! Don't kill me! I'll pay the debt! I'll pay the debt! Damn you!"
Direwolf growls.
Yes.
I like that he's got the built-in closed captioning. Direwolf growl.
He's like,
That's so
he's now just looking at all of y'all, like trying to shield himself. He looks rather pitiful at the moment. But
We will take this opportunity to do the Avengers standing over Loki pose, and then say sure.
The direwolf really doesn't want to stop though, but
Banu gets closer with his stick. I'm ready to fight again.
direwolf is like basically putting his mouth like right up against his like neck, just like waiting for him to move to try something.
Whisper sweet nothing.
Oh, I was really hoping you're gonna be like, like a big old like lick.
You can tell that
No.
his sense of pride is hurt really bad that he just got beat the hell up by this motley group of people, especially one that.
Yeah, make a nemesis.
Well,
I mean,
he doesn't
you
look
did
mad.
outnumber him.
He does not look mad. He just looks hurt. Like his honor relied on this. This is he's being forced into paying a debt that he doesn't feel like he owes, but he'll pay it anyway, and he's kind of upset. He looks over at Clahu, and she looks back at him. She says, "It serves you right, you trash." He says, "I'll get you for this." And he begins to kind of like roll over and push himself up on one arm, kind of stretching out, got blood running off of his hip. She says, "Let him go. He'll get the money. You can follow him if you like." He says,
I will.
"It's over here." And he begins to walk.
The direwolf is gonna follow.
Alright. What's Winterin's reaction to any of this? And Heskin and Bonner?
I'm gonna back off and let him go.
Winterin is going to say, lessons are hard, but if you pay the debts that you owe, then you don't have to learn the lessons quite so hard. And as she says that, she reaches out and touches him and does cure light wounds on him.
Alright, give me a roll.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to click. Hold on.
He looks at her with kind of like this shocked look.
I walk back finally over and I go, Heskin, next time maybe we try talking first, not spearing first, huh?
And if you want to start if you want to start with the spear, maybe don't de-escalate to pushing. Start with the talking. If you want to skip talking, go to the pushing, and then if that doesn't work, then you do the spear.
Maybe this. Well, I'm a dire wolf, can't.
So he leads you over to this waterfall where there's like this little pool that's kind of built up. It looks a lot deeper than what you would imagine it being. It's only about like a 10-foot wide or so of a pool where the waterfall hits into it, but it seems like it's much deeper than it should be. And you notice off to the side there's this like vine that's like draped down into it, and he begins to pull the vine up, and he pulls for what seems about 30 feet worth of rope, and when it comes to the top it reveals this like mucked up bag that kind of like clangs and clatters as he's pulling it up out the side, and he sets it down, and he opens it up. He says, "Everything I owe you's here, but only what I owe you." And he begins to reach in and pull out like a smattering of all kinds of different stuff. There's some like golden jewelry, some really nice gems and stuff that he's got in there, gem encrusted dagger, and then he gets down to the coins and begins to pull it out. He says, "You aren't getting any of this. You know who this was." And he looks at Clahu, and she says, "Keep it. I don't need that stuff. Just give me the coin." And he begins to like gather the coins out, and ends up divvying them out, 500 gold pieces to her, and she begins to count out your portion of the cut, which is 25% of 500. Don't make me math right now. It's getting late. 25%. 125 gold pieces.
Which is 25 each.
25 each.
Okay. So 25 gold pieces go to each of you. And he begins to put the stuff back in the bag. And Clahu says, "I believe you know the way back to town. Our business here is done." And she begins to walk off. Looks like this.
I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
She kind of smirks. And Tabin, who would be closest to Tabin right now before y'all are leaving?
Well, Heskin was staying next to him while he was going to get his stuff.
And Marmorin was staying close to make sure he didn't try anything else as a dire wolf.
Okay. Is anybody in particular staying near or is closer to him as y'all begin to walk away from him?
Say Heskin, it's fine.
Yeah, I'd probably wait behind for a second, and then as everybody's moving, leave.
Okay. So as you begin to walk away, and everybody starts to kind of head back towards town, I guess you'd say, Tabin like snaps his hand out and grabs you by the wrist, and he says, and not in a threatening manner, like just to kind of stop you from moving. He says, "I'm very sorry about all this. She's been after me for quite some time for that debt, which is not rightly owed to her. But I feel that I owe you all a debt for not taking my life. And I would be glad to offer my services to you, should you be accepting."
His gun will keep that in mind. Talk to group, and also sorry for throwing javelin.
You didn't know what you were walking into, and I don't blame you. If I knew who I was when I was coming up on him, I would have thrown a spear too. But let me tell you something. And he smiles at you with kind of like a friendly smile. He says, "If it were one-on-one, it would have been so much different."
Oh yes, I have no doubt that you would have beaten me. And then Heskin will kind of awkwardly walk away looking for his javelins, because he suddenly remembers he threw 2 of them.
Tabin kind of follows up behind. He says, "What are you doing in Port-Nines are in and around these areas anyway?
There is. We were hired by. What was her name?
Syndra.
That's the one.
Famous person.
We were hired by Sindra for finding death curse, something causing people to die.
He looks
Heskan not good at remembering details.
he looks excited and sad at the same time when you mention death curse. He kind of looks back over, like back towards this area of the tent, like he's looking through the tent past it to something when you mention the death curse. And he looks back at y'all and he says, "Please, any assistance I could be in this, you let me know."
I will definitely remember you for when we leave into jungle to go explore. We could probably use extra pair of hands.
I will gladly be those hands. And he's like kind of watching Banu as he walks off at the corner of his eye. Like,
Hello.
Hello.
You're a good fighter.
Hey, the same can be said for you. I've never met one quite like
Goblin.
you. Okay. I've never met a goblin that fights like you.
There's a bunch of us where I'm from.
Where I'm
Well, not a bunch, but some.
Where I'm from, they're not so talented. They're much more savage.
I've seen. I've met one. I don't like it. Don't think of them when you think of me.
He says, so I can offer no form of guidance for you around here, but I will help you on any journey or expedition you may be making towards finding the cure for this death curse, or however you raise it. But I can tell you that if you want a trustworthy soul to be searching out, the guide's name is Iku, I believe her name is. Hold on a sec.
I want to pick up my cow trips, by the way.
You're just sitting there picking up a
Just
couch
one
one
by
by
one.
one.
Yeah, yes. Waste not.
Take the one out of Marborn's foot.
Oh, he turned back. It's just over somewhere else now. I don't look through the leaves.
I haven't turned back yet. I'm staying.
No,
on
you were.
Ireland.
That was your first form that you stepped in there.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not. It's just sitting on the ground somewhere now. Ha ha!
He says,
Dire wolf blood.
he's watching you do this, but he says, a good guide that may also be on lines with this is Iku. You can find her roaming around the market from time to time. And,
Oh, Iku.
yes, Iku. And if you ever make your way to Fort Belurian, Quasha and Kapule, or Kepulu, are two quite fine guides too. Honorable people. I believe that Quasha has some ties to some factions from the mainland. She's a druid, and her little companion is a vegapygmy.
A vegapygmy.
That sounds terrifying.
Actually, they're kind of cute, but yes, those are the best guides that I know in this region, and they don't charge. Should you be willing to assist them, they are likewise seeking out similar goals to yourself right now.
So
We've heard the jungle can be very dangerous, so probably more hands are better than some. And you did put up a good fight. And we're sorry we had to hit you like that, but you really should pay your debts.
I haven't seen one of you since I've last saw Orla.
You saw Orla? I heard about Orla when I was in town. They said that they were the last known.
And you talk just as much as she does. Yes.
Well, it is kind of a gnome thing. I try to tone it down because people don't like it very much, but I get excited.
So I'm under the impression that you and Clahu made some sort of deal to come help her obtain this payment that she believed I owed her. I would have you know, do not trust her. She's scum of the earth.
Yeah, we kind of are getting that. But we have to save somebody from the judgment pit, so.
Executioner's Run, and they were the only one that could help, or at least that's what we were told.
It is definitely a rough place, and she does have a lot of pull. The Beggar Queen's been around for a while, and she's been kind of her lackey, and they do have to seem to have some sort of relationship. But still,
Really?
the Beggar Queen is more trustworthy than Clahu is. I feel like Clahu would gladly take her position if she ever had the chance.
Is he like following us to back to the city?
Well, this was mainly just as Banu was picking up all his caltrops. He's got a bunch of
Oh,
caltrops
okay.
he's picking out of the grass right now.
Yep.
So he's just giving y'all a rundown. He's trying to get to know y'all. He says, and if you know, my name's Taven. I know this, but I don't know any of you. If I am in need of your assistance, where can I find you? What's your names?
I am Banu.
Yeah. We're staying at the respite. No.
House of Respite. House of Repose.
Yep,
Yeah,
I haven't seen that face in a while. I may need to go. I need to have some.
He's got an enjoyable face.
Yes, it's friendly competition too.
Really? What do you mean by that?
Though me and him, back in the day, we used to make our way around the city, earning money, arm wrestling, mostly bets. Sometimes we'd run pools on the dinosaur races. We're just good buddies from back in the day. I don't get to see him as often anymore. I try to stay out here, away from everything that is Port Nyanzaru. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die out here.
It's right to die in nature. I can't imagine dying in the city. It seems like it would be very harsh.
I prefer not to die at all.
I agree with
there's
that.
Everybody has to
There's
die
that, but,
one
you
day,
know.
friend.
You have to
Sure.
pick one place. This is a nice place to do it.
Yeah.
And she kind of looks around.
I strongly disagree.
Well, you didn't like the bugs either, so you know.
What bugs?
Yeah, the little yakas. They were yummy. I liked them.
They're disgusting. My mother used to force feed me those things when I was a kid.
They weren't that
Kind
bad.
of thought they were nice.
When you eat them every day of your life for like 10 years straight, you don't want, you kind of develop
Oh,
an untaste for
Okay, yes. I see.
Yeah,
that makes
that
sense.
would get monotonous.
that.
Well, I think Cole would like one when we get back.
I will not like one.
Would you like me to describe the texture?
Try it. See what happens.
It was gooey.
Sleep. I don't actually cast sleep.
Thank you, Aaron.
So are you here all the time? Like if we need you, we would come back to here and this is where you'd be?
Oh yes, this is my home. It's all I have right now. I was trying to save some of that money and get out of here, but who knows?
Well, maybe if we become rich and famous, we can pay you back since we beat the shit out of you. You know.
And you said you'd be willing to come with us if we went, adventuring. So that's in a way getting out of here.
As long as your adventure entails trying to end this death curse.
That's our plan. It's the only reason why we're here.
Yep.
Definitely no other reasons.
Just watch
I
out.
don't know. Those dinosaur things were pretty amazing.
There have been some strange people come in since the death curse has taken hold on the lands. I've noticed, it was some weeks back, I even noticed some very large individuals have come on land and have traveled into the jungles. Have you ever seen frost giants?
The what now?
Frost giants.
No. I live in the desert.
Maybe.
They live,
What? I.
May have
Ha-
been Goliath.
How did they? What?
yes, I know. But frost giants are here in Cholt, and they are deep in the jungle right now, and they seem to be in search of something. And there's another group of people, red-robed, arcane casters of some sort. They are in search of things, led by some female. I haven't had a close encounter with them, but I have seen them from a distance, and I watched them lay waste to one of the nearby Batiri villages in less than a few seconds. 40 goblins gone, dead. The 60 children that were there, and everybody, they showed no mercy.
His guy's just like putting his hands over Banu's ears.
Many dead
Ugh.
goblins.
I know this. Ugh. All right. Well, we're not planning on massacring villages of Patiri or being frost giants, so you don't have to worry about that.
This is just to warn you of what you may encounter heading into Cholt. There are many different factions and people who have come here in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, we get it. It's a shit show.
Currently, yes, it's much worse than it was, and it's pretty bad normally.
Much worse than it was. Well, I suppose that's.
Red robes, magic. That sounds like those red wizard peoples. I don't like them very much.
I have no clue.
They might have spell books we can steal.
I don't know that they have the kind of magic that you'd want part of.
Well, good luck in that, Coleman.
If they're wizards, then I would. Well, oh, that was gonna be super political. Never mind. Is it the spell that kills people, or is it the wizard?
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
So Tabin lets you go about your business. As y'all are leaving, you notice that he's like grabbing some leaves out of like a sack that he has like toted out from his tent, and he's got like this big pot and he's beginning to shove them in and pour water into it and starting a campfire up under it. Similar to the same leaves that you had seen previously, Winterin, those long, pointy ones. The ones that I had told you about previously. He looks like he's starting to boil some of them, and he wishes y'all a great day.
I saw a lot of these in like the wealthier part of town. You didn't really see it with the poor people, but here you have a lot of them. There they were like super cultivated. What is this?
If you know where to find them, it's you just have to brave the jungle to find things like this. I gotta remember what page that was on. It's
What is it anyway?
I'll tell you. These are manga leaves. You've never seen manga leaves before?
I've not. I've just been here a day. Everything's new. I've never seen these plants before. It's fascinating.
Well, pretty much. They sell for a good bit back in town. They sell for a good bit everywhere. They're kind of exotic. But if you grind them up, cook them in water, they make like this terrible concoction that you can sip upon, and it helps your wounds mend much faster.
So like a poultice? You make a poultice from it?
More like a tea. Like a really gritty...
Oh, so you drink the tea. It's not that you use the pulp as a bandage.
Correct. You would drink the tea and
Oh.
chew on the pulp.
Okay. Healing wounds. That's good to know. I feel like that would come in handy out in the jungle.
If you would like, I can give you some. You can maybe try it out.
That would be amazing.
He looks in his sack and he starts pulling some out and gives you. He gives you 6 ounces of manga leaves.
6 ounces.
Of manga leaves.
I couldn't get the big jar, you know. Thank you. This is very kind.
You're very welcome. Mechanically, what it does is every ounce that you cook, for the most part, and drink as if it's a tea and chew on the poultice, for every ounce that you ingest, it heals you 1 hit point. But you can take no more than 5 ounces in a 24-hour period. And if you do, you have to make a constitution. Once you take 5 ounces, you have to make a constitution save, or you fall unconscious for an hour.
Okay, so it'll knock you out.
Yeah, so too much of it will knock you out, but you can essentially heal 5 hit points off of it by chugging 5 ounces of it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: can you boil it and have it prepared, and just carry it in your little canteen, and then if you need it, you have it then, or does it have to be drunk fresh?
It doesn't have to be drunk fresh as long as it's been properly prepared. It needs to be dried out, which takes roughly a day. And then just a normal boil point. Let it steep for a little while.
Okay, so dry, then grind, then boil, and steep. God,
Yes.
This is awesome.
It was great meeting you under such terrible circumstances, but I'm glad we did not kill any of us. I'm glad we survived this.
The ladies of the Golden Hills would be proud of us. We resolved the conflict. We had battle, but we had a great outcome for everyone.
I don't know these ladies you're talking about, but they sound like nice people.
Oh, they are. They left the world. I'm hoping they'll find them while we're looking.
Well, good day.
See you later, Titan.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I finally have all of my counter.
So yeah, for the rest of the day, or for the next hour and some change, y'all have to make your way back to town, and you find yourself back in Port Nyanzaru, walking through Tariki Anchorage. Yep, Tariki Anchorage.
So that's at the bottom.
Yep, where y'all's token is currently at.
Do we want to go look for more trouble?
Look at the spear wound in my side.
Marmon's really thoroughly beat up. He needs to heal.
The shield bash to the face, his nose is off to the side.
That's just
Seeing
got a
those
little
injuries.
scratch. That's just got a
I
little
did-
scratch.
He
you
stayed
ripped my-
direwolf as long as possible to avoid the feeling when he came back. He was
So
I didn't realize y'all were hurt so bad. Do y'all need some of these mango leaves now?
No.
Marmor grabs it and drinks
No,
it.
let's just save that. Let's just save it. What if we're in
So
the
I'm
jungle?
down
We
to
need
5
that.
ounces.
We might be in the jungle and need that. I just take a nap.
She could find more.
It's expensive and it's not common. So as you're making your way back through Tariki Anchorage, you do notice one thing that you didn't notice before because y'all were kind of in a rush to get out of town. You're walking by or down the main road and you hear some loud growls and grunts and strange dinosaur-like noises. And this area over here that looks like a big pen, you notice that there's some workers out there and they seem to be corralling some triceratops and some of the larger dinosaurs. It seems to be a dinosaur keeping pen for beasts of burden.
Nice.
Just for future reference, if you ever want to go there, it's just a little point of interest.
Let's buy a dinosaur.
Yep, over in that
Right.
area.
We're
Marmorn would
small
like
enough
to
we could ride
dinosaur.
them.
Most of them are
Barney and I could
Tyrannosaurus
ride
and
'em.
Ankylosauruses. I mean, shit, not Tyrannosaurus. Triceratops and Ankylosaurus are the majority of the dinosaurs you see out there.
Okay.
I will definitely keep this in mind
All right, and you make your way back
for
into
when I can
town.
afford it.
And that will bring you back into the marketplace, I believe is the area. Yeah, the market ward is where you'll enter into over in there. Doesn't seem to be much happening with the Tariki anchorage right now. Like, people are kind of milling about. There's some people moving in and out. Some look like they could be merchants and such going home or leaving to go sell their wares. Some carts and stuff being pulled by Ankylosaurus moving into the city. Others moving out. Is there anything in particular y'all want to do? It's like maybe 10:30. It's going on close to 11 o'clock. It's getting closer to noon right now.
I need to take a nap. It's been a busy morning.
Like,
Yeah.
literally,
I-
or
No, not literally. I'm just gonna rest for a bit. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna sit down and meditate some. I was like, I got a spear wound in me. I need to
Take a short rest.
focus.
Short
Yeah.
rest.
Need to focus for a little bit.
Can we find a simple tavern tent or whatever and just duck in, have a drink, have
I'm
some
gonna go to the
lunch?
bathhouse and clean myself.
Yeah, they got
Come on,
some-
Cole.
Marmon
Let's share
follows.
some bugs.
And
Uh-oh.
I'm done. Just
The bathhouse would
prestidigitation.
be
I'm clean.
refreshing. But the bathhouse would be refreshing. The cool water, all the sweat
No.
would be gone.
It's already gone. See?
Doesn't even actually cast it.
Yeah. It's gone.
Not even with a squeegee, just like.
So you have oh lord, video froze up. Okay, so you have moving your way through town. You do notice that there are plenty of bathhouses, like smaller bathhouses stationed maybe like every 4 or 5 blocks around. There's always like some small bathhouse or something. There are places that you can go to sit down and have yourself a good drink, get something to eat if you're hungry, and you make your way to whichever one you so desire. There's none of them are labeled, and they're just like under tents and such.
Right. I'm just gonna go into one random one on the way.
All right.
Take a little rest.
Okay. So you make your way into one of them little bathhouses, and it seems to have like a couple different servants. Like, some of them look like they might be willing to offer massages and stuff for a price, but for the most part they just let you move about freely in there. A couple of them do keep an eye on you just because you are what you are. Anybody that follows you, they probably don't pay much attention to.
Alright. I'm just resting. Bathing.
Marmon follows Banu to take the short rest.
I will
Well.
go to a little tavern that is like right next to it, and I'll just sit there drinking and resting.
All right. If you're drinking, it's just a silver gold piece. Good lord, silver piece will get you pretty much about as much tedge as you want at the moment, or anything that you might particularly care for, unless you want some high dollars.
Yeah, I just want just a very simple drink.
Okay. Tedge is about the most simple you can get here. Banu heals 10 hit points.
Banu just sits there and makes some, and then his spear wound just closes up.
Marmor. Man.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have a con modifier, that's right.
Yeah, that sucks not having a con mod. But you
And-
do feel a little bit better.
How long do we stay there?
It takes an hour for a short rest, and you can spend as
Okay.
many hit dice as you have if you
Which
want
is
to.
2.
But
So you can spend them all if you want.
Yeah, but you only get half the amount of your maximum back on a long rest. So,
Does that tea help him heal at all? That he chugged?
Yeah, I
he
already
did.
did that.
Yeah,
That's plus 5, right?
if you took 5 ounces, but she only got 6
Oh,
ounces
I
of
only
tea.
gave you 1 ounce, so that's
so
1
that's-
hit point.
Oh, 1. Okay, cool.
So you
No,
do feel better
sorry.
off the tea. The tea's very warming and soothing, and it does help mend your broken form.
Marmon doesn't feel much better. So that was a waste.
Um,
That
But
tea
you are
does nothing.
clean.
yeah, he's clean. There's them dogs.
They're outside. Somebody's walking by.
Huh. All right, so y'all meet back up after you get your little short rest and get a little drink. What was Heskin doing? You getting a drink, dude, or and Winterin?
Yeah, he'd probably go in the tavern with Coleman, get a drink.
All right, what would Winterin have been doing?
Well, I was going to ask you something. Could I can like sew and stuff while I'm doing a short rest, and that doesn't like I still would short rest, right?
Sewing, yeah, I guess you could. That's a
Because I
very
mean, it's just
minimal
kind of sitting
activity.
there hand stitching. Okay, then in that case, I would go with them to the bar instead of to the bathhouse. And as I sat there drinking, I'd be stitching some more like feathers and beads onto my little desert shirt or
Okay.
jungle shirt.
Do you have a proficiency with a kit that does that? Is that what you're?
No, remember she bought the bag of beads and she was going to try and decorate her outfit.
Just give me a dex check.
So I just need to know what you want me to
Just
roll.
give me a dex check since there's no tool proficiency going with this.
Okay.
You start doing this, and somebody walks by, like as you're sitting there, and kind of nudges up against you, like not noticing your little form sitting there on the stool, and your beads kind of like scatter across the floor.
Oh. I began picking them up.
Like you were
I'm
getting
off
pretty
all
good
over again.
into it. You were starting to make something that looked nice, but before you could ever get it tied together to solidify the deal, it was like boom, and they just like scatter across the floor.
That's okay. I would just kind of like, oh, and I'd go and I'd start picking them back up, you know.
All right,
I'm
you
cool
pick-
with
Poor
this.
Winterred.
I'm okay with this.
All right, so anybody that got a drink, spend your silver piece. Anybody that went to the bathhouse, it didn't cost you anything unless you wanted a massage.
I leave a copper piece.
All right.
I'll leave a copper piece also.
There you go. So, what are y'all wanting to do now? Where are you wanting to head? There's lots of daytime left. It's like roughly right after noon now that y'all have taken a rest.
Can we listen for some more rumors?
I'd also, by this point in time, I'd really be wanting to earmark Emerald Enclave anywhere for that. Let me
Okay.
let the dogs in.
Probably still not. gonna find much on
Marmon suggests to the party maybe we should go watch the death run.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, actually. See what he's up against.
And while y'all are on the way
Did
there,
they
you
did
can
they take bets for that?
what for the freaking pit.
Forget what it's called.
Yeah. Executioner's Run?
Yeah, that's
Executioner
what your bookie that you just
Yeah.
helped collect a debt for.
Yeah,
Takes
let's go
bets on.
gamble. Let's go gamble and see what we're up against.
Yeah.
So we can
I
kill
mean, they
two
said that
stones with
started-
one bird.
They said that started at like
That
2, right?
never mind. Noon.
So, as you're making your way through town, everybody give me a wisdom. What is it? Investigation or intelligence investigation? Wisdom insight check. Sorry,
Oh no.
you don't have to
Insight?
be proficient. Yeah, it's an
Insight.
I'm not getting robbed today, bitches.
All right, so let's see what we got here. Let me make some random rolls.
It took my 15, but
All right, so you hear people just like generally chit chatting. Marmorn, you hear something about there are dwarves determined to reclaim Wormheart Mine, but a red dragon now lives there, and haven't seen the dwarves in quite some time.
Dwarves trying to retake a mine. Okay,
Dwarves are
got it.
trying to reclaim Wormheart Mine.
Okay.
But a red dragon apparently lives there now. Nobody's seen these dwarves in quite some time.
Okay, that seems like a death run.
Let's see what this one turned up as. Okay, so Cole, you learn that if you head up the Tariki River about 5 days by canoe, or follow its trail, which takes roughly 10 days by foot, you will see a stone spire to the east. The natives call it Firefinger. Terror folk nest there, and if they spot you, you're in for a fight. Terror folk are Terra folk. They're essentially like dinosaur pterodactyl people. You hear them kind of talking about it, and it's a type of ruin, I guess you'd say, or not ruin. It's more like a, what's it called? It's like a home nest for these particular people. But the Terror folk themselves, is what they call them, and they tend to be very violent. And they tend to kill people that they come across and take all their goods and take them back to their home, which is what everybody's calling Firefinger.
Oh yeah, and that also sparks a reminder that I know that, what's her name? Azaka wants us to go up there and kill people.
Azaka. Yep. And you also learn, when you were hearing earlier about Aramag living in the Bay of Chult, Aramag is an ancient, like extremely ancient dragon turtle. Anybody that wishes to set sail from Port Nyanzaru must bring treasure to appease the greedy monster, otherwise he will sink your ship and devour you whole.
Unleash the Kraken!
No, this is slightly less worse than Kraken.
Yeah.
Dragon turtles are still mean though.
It's extremely ancient. It's not your average dragon turtle. It's a very advanced version. So
It's advanced dragon. Never mind.
yeah, bring yourself some treasure, or you're in for a death run. Nobody can leave the port. Nobody can leave
Via boat.
Yeah, nobody can leave the Bay of Chult by boat without paying homage to this particular dragon.
So that means we wouldn't have been able to go. That means we wouldn't have been able to go pirate hunting without a boatload of treasure.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you don't know what proper payment is for this dragon turtle, but everybody says that you need to bring lots of treasure if you want to leave.
Well, I would assume if they're sending us to fight pirates, they would pay the treasure for us.
Yeah, that's an assumption.
And they're
That'd be kind of
assuming
rude,
that you're
like-
adventurers and that you can afford to pay the treasure already.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Well, those
but,
people don't.
So, next session, we're going to go ahead and call it here since it's right at 11 o'clock. And if we get into it too much, we won't stop for another couple hours. We will start off next session with y'all making your way to the Executioner's Run to place some bets, possibly talk to some more people over there in the old city, because that is kind of where that's placed at. You know, you still haven't had a chance to meet the Beggar Queen, and I believe there was something y'all were also wanting to
Jessamine.
do. Yeah, and you want to speak to Jessamine. So we will plan that out for next session. I'll have some stuff written up. We'll spend this weekend kind of prepping some good content for this. This was just Congratulations on your first official side quest.
Derail the
Yeah.
party. Yeah.
Four sessions in and finally got a side quest completed.
And it was one of the harder ones because that what's his name, Tabin, he's like a level 5 challenge rating.
Oh.
You're badass.
Now let me
You
go
hear me?
ahead and divvy this XP up for Tabin.
That was a hard fight.
It would have been
Marmor literally almost got one shot when he came out of
it could have been much worse. That entanglement kind of helped some. The fact that you're a moon druid, though, I mean, it's impossible to take one of you down at this level.
That is not true. I have seen it happen.
It's just you got to have a lot of enemies and not one big one that
Yeah.
everyone can focus on. That's the problem. There's a lot of attacks that can ping them down. Rude.
10 to 15 kobolds is much scarier than a level 5 single monster.
Yeah.
encounter.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
When they all have back tactics and they're like advantage. It's like, oh my god, fireball. While we're thinking about experience points, though, I'm going to have to be traveling next Tuesday, so I will not be able to make it next Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, I'll have to figure out what. Well, before you head out, not necessarily tonight, but before you head out next Tuesday, send me a message. Think of what you think Cole would want to be doing. He doesn't necessarily have to go with them to go gamble unless you just want to. Think of something that you might want to be doing. I have a feeling I kind of know what you'll probably want to be doing, but just give me some solid information and I can prepare some stuff for you.
Cool. Yeah, I have to travel all day, so I won't be back in time. I'll be back on Tuesday, but I won't be back until like 11 at night, so the session will be over by the time I'm back.
So travel safe.
Thanks. I hope I will.
Yay.
It's the one downside of living in the middle of nowhere.
Each of you gain
We know about that.
for defeating Tabin and also slightly accomplishing a second side quest. You each get 385 experience points. Probably welcome to level 3, I imagine.
Ooh.
Woo.
What does that make us at?
Yep. I
How
think
much? What are we at?
We're so close.
We're
We're at
we're at
450.
we're at 835. I think isn't level 3 7? Or is level
It's
3 9?
900.
Is it 900?
My microphone turned
Yep.
off.
So
Yep, it's 900.
close.
835.
Microphone, why?
Your microphone's on, Ping.
Okay. I was like, I'm talking, but nobody's.
I didn't hear you say anything.
All I heard
He
him
said-
say was his mic didn't
mic-
work.
No, he said 900 as I agreed with him. I was like, oh yeah, it is 900.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was agreeing with you
Wait.
as I literally opened the book.
The way you said it, I thought you were just saying it like you didn't hear me. I was like, no.
No, I'm sorry. I was attempting to agree with you that
Okay.
yes, Ping was correct. It's 900.
I've been having that fear all night.
So
Like, did my microphone stop?
close.
No, it didn't stop at all tonight.
Yeah, it worked really well.
Yep, we're pretty good.
Nick's microphone didn't work at all, but whatever.
Yeah.
We're just bouncing mics. It's fine.
Well, it worked after we
I
changed
passed it
mics. It worked
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pisses me off that
I
we
think
wasted
that
that
my,
much
I
time.
think that headset. Well, I think that headset just got banged
So
around and the cord.
we're technically still streaming, so do we want to like?
Oh, are we?
Yes.
I stopped it.
We
Oh,
didn't
wow.
stop.
Hi. I'm so glad you're still with us. You're still here. Okay.
So next week, join us as the party goes and places bets on who's going to die horribly to dinosaurs as they're running buck naked through a pit.
We're heroes.
And yes, these heroes are going to valiantly place bets upon these poor souls.
This is their justice system, quote unquote. So I'm not here to change society. I'm not here to change society. If they're this barbaric, I don't care.
Was there
They're down their
anything
rules.
They're commoners anyway. Let them get eaten.
When in Rome, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
When in Rome, bet on the people getting eaten by dinosaurs.
All All right, y'all. We apologize again for the technical issues. Hopefully, it won't happen next week. I'll just use this mic from here on out and not have this problem, I hope. And y'all take care. Thanks for coming along. Bye.
Bye.